Alright guys, welcome back at this Punt Factor. Going to be playing some more Green-White Value Town because I actually am getting my Stoneforge Mystics and Batter Skulls for this next event. So um, I am most definitely going to be playing this deck in the event. So I was testing without the Ramanap excavators, and I want to bring them back in. This was my old configuration that I had, obviously minus the Stoneforge Mystics and Batter Skulls. But this thing was the core of the list. I think what I was running before, I was running an additional tracker. I think I was running Knight of Autumns in the main, and maybe my 8th mana dork. So I was testing running Giver of Runes in the Noble slot or in the Bird slot, and I feel like this deck is extremely weak. Not extremely weak, but we want those mana dork starts. Without them, it just feels way too slow. Even with us lowering our curve and our 2-drops, I didn't feel like it was quite good enough. And I am bringing the excavators back in because Tron is definitely going to be extremely prevalent in this new meta. So I just kind of want to hedge against that game one before I bring in my oofs and my damping spheres to kind of shore that matchup up. So going onto the sideboard, I was thinking of our weak matchups, and control's obviously sort of always something that we have to think about as a mid-range deck. So I do like this one Gideon ally, but with us lowering the curve of the deck, still having our main voices and now the Stoneforges, I feel like we can kind of oversaturate them in threats. So I do feel like our control matchup is okay. So instead of focusing on the control matchup, I wanted to focus on the Warza decks. So you'll see here I have 3 Collector Oofs. I have 3 Knight of Autumns. And I know Burn is also going to be very prevalent in the meta, so Knight of Autumns are just fantastic utility. And then also, I think Titan Shift is kind of on the rise, and that was a deck that I was also considering playing because I have that in paper as well. But I love this way too much. But knowing that we're weak against that, I wanted to bring in the Aven Mind Sensors to flash in response to Escape Shift. I'm never afraid of their Titans. Our Knights outgrow their Titans by a mile. So it's really just Escape Shift that we have to play around. And Aven Mind Sensor is there to really help with that. So we're going to give this a run through a league. We've been 3-2ing most of our leagues here. So let me go ahead and... Whoops. Kill this down to 2. And then let's go ahead and jump into a league and see how we do. So another consideration that I'm going to want to test is taking out the 3 voices and adding in 3 Thalias. I know I'm kind of in the minority here, but I think voice is just so good. I'm never upset to see a voice, even if it's in a matchup that doesn't seem like it matters. That is so incredibly loud. Alright, so we're on the play. Horrible opener. Let's go ahead and mulligan. This is also very bad. Let's see. We have no white mana, so we can't cast anything in our hand except for an excavator. Let's go to 5. Definitely keep this, and let's drop Gavany and Ghost Quarter. And let's just hope that we hit a land off of the next 2 draws. Okay, that's going to be rough. They'll probably take our turn 2 play. And they did. Let's go ahead and fetch. Another excavator. It's not what we really want to see. Kind of expect an Inquisition. Oh, no, they thought Thoughtseize first. So let's see. Are they just black-white? Or are they... Okay, no, they're Mardu. Death Shadow for sure. Okay. Great. So this is kind of what I've been... I've run into this issue a couple times. I'm wondering if 7 dorks typically feels like enough. But I just haven't really been drawing into them turn 1. Alright, so let's see what we can get here. There's a bird. Guarantee you they have removal for that to keep us off the mana. So the next question is, if we don't draw a land, I think we play the excavator. Why won't this stay? So if we draw a land, we'll definitely go knight. Well, never mind. Down to 5. Play their shadow. Mulling to 5 killed us. They're going to push our bird. One sec, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get a forest here. No, that's it. All right. So engineer explosives is fine. trying to think. Excavator might be good for Blast Zone. To have a couple of those effects. And we could probably drop... No, why don't we take one excavator. Now let's keep the excavators in and let's drop a couple coursers. That seems fine. Although Gideon might actually be good here. I like Gideon for the chump blockers. Let's just hope we actually get a hand with some reasonable amount of lands and threats. Or no lands, I guess is fine. Alright, this is fine. Unfortunately, let's drop a dork here. Unfortunately, they are going to Thoughtseize. They are going to take our collected company. So we're kind of hoping to just draw into some threats after they Thoughtseize away our Coco. Inquisition? Fatal Push. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and play the Noble. Canopy. Alright, so we would really like to see... I wouldn't mind seeing a Stoneforge Mystic. And then playing that plus Bird. Dreadhorde Arcanist for Fatal Push. Do we care? Do we care that they Fatal Push? Or would we rather save... Oh, this is tough. Because we could also save... No, I think we have to get rid of this thing. Let's path it. Because if we let that go... So if we would have let it go... I mean, it just depends on our draw step. Okay, that's actually good. Because if we would have let that go... Now here's an interesting question. Do we play... No, we definitely play the Knight, because the Knight allows us to cast Collected Company even if... If it lives and we don't draw a land, we can still cast Coco off of Knight. I doubt it's going to live, but It's unfortunate that Knight's only a 3/3, so it dies to Bolt. Death Shadow. Okay. Well, land. There's a path. So let's play out a bird. And let's go ahead and we'll path this thing in a minute. It's a good card for this deck especially. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I'm all freaking congested, man. My allergies are driving me nuts today. My head feels like a balloon. So they're going to take our company, which sucks. Come on. So I'm definitely going to cycle this Horizon Canopy on their end step. Here comes a Ranger. Nope. Maybe the turn I played Knight, I should have played a bird. I don't know if it would have mattered. Like, I don't know if they would have still killed a bird or if they would have been inclined to hold it for something like a Knight. But we are going to crack this. That was a good pickup. And what I'll probably do, I'll chump block with the Noble, because I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna kill my birds and my Noble right away. I'll chump, and then if he, in response, casts something like Teamer, then I will obviously pop EE. Let's go ahead and get a forest here. So what are we looking to hit? A Cocoa would be sweet. That's horrible. That's really bad for us. That was probably probably one of the better, if not the best top deck. But he still has a clock on here that we have to respect. He'll probably play another Death Shadow. Or another Ranger Captain. And we need to find 3. Here's a Ranger Captain. Snag a Death Shadow. One sec here. Okay, so what do we got here? That's it. So that was a really rough showing. What would we have drawn? Batterskull, Stoneforge. That felt horrible. Alright guys, well, off to a rough start, but hopefully we can pick it up in game 2. This is Punt Factor. Better luck next time.